Okay, lights, action, camera. All right, hi, I'm Bill, and welcome to Bill Poplawski Photography. In this video, I'm going to talk about the gear that I put together to do panoramas, specifically Milky Way panoramas, but this gear can also be used just for panoramas in general, whether that be captured during the daytime or nighttime. So I want to step through that, and this will ultimately be, I'll talk briefly about how I put this image together. I won't go into detail, but this was the panorama that I just completed. I decided the other night to go out to Half Moon Bay Harbor. It's actually Pillar Point, and put the gear together and see what I get as a first run of trying to capture a panorama. So when you look at this image, it's not about the technical qualities of the lighting and the sky and all that. It's more about how the photo was stitched together, and we'll go into that. But first, let's watch this video. Okay, so here is the rig that I used the other night for the panorama that you saw me share with you earlier in the video. And let's just kind of break down the parts. We'll also have still photographs in the video. But this is basically a Benro tripod, the TTOR34CLV as in Victor. It's a lightweight, sturdy tripod. On top of it, what I have is a Fanotec Nodal Ninja product line easy leveler. And up here on this rail, there's a bubble level, and I can adjust this leveler to make sure that I have a level orientation for this rig, for this setup, for this fixture. Now, I can validate it by looking at the level line on the camera as well. Now, next up is a rotator, and the rotator lets me rotate a set number of degrees. There is a pin here that I can use. Right now I have it set for 24 degrees, so when I go one click, it has moved 24 degrees. And the way I determine 24 degrees is with my Rokinon 12 millimeter. My field of view this way is 66 degrees. From top to bottom is 88 degrees, I think. So I want to have an overlap on my panorama, on the shots that I'm using to build the panorama. And so at 24 on 66 field of view, I'm close to about a third, a little bit more maybe than a third. 24, 48, 60, 70, up 72. So I think I have a good overlap. They say you want 20 to 50, and so I can move it. Now I can also change it to 7.5 degrees, 10 degrees, 12 degrees, 15 degrees, 20, 30, 36, 60, 90, and 120. So again, you can pick, because what you're doing is you're taking a slice and then you're moving, taking another slice, moving and taking another slice. Now, what you see here are a couple of rails, and I'm not going to go into it in this video, but you need to find your no parallax point, also called the nodal point, and you can do that. And if there's interest, I will do a video to show you how to determine your nodal point or your no parallax point. And so why it's important to identify that point is if you don't, and you take an image, and let's say there's a street light in it, and then you rotate your 24 degrees, that street light will still be in the image. But if you don't have the no parallax point identified properly, what you're going to get is you're going to get an offset. So there'll be like a ghosting in your image because you didn't find the right parallax point. So if there's interest in that, I'll go into that. But I was able to set that point essentially by putting the camera in this orientation and adjusting this slide here. Well, I can't go back because once you find the point, the nodal point, you can put a stop. So anytime you're using this lens, you can just slide to the stop and you're at the point you want to be. But basically what I did was I centered these crosshairs that are on this piece of the fixture here in the center of the camera. So that is one axis, and then in the other axis I put the camera in this orientation, and then in vision in front of me I used two tripods some distance apart, and what I did is I lined the camera lens up with those two tripods. So if you looked, it looked like there was one pole in a sense, and I moved the camera orientation back, took an image, moved in, took an image, and I continued to take an image to where there was no ghosting. And so wherever I turned and those tripods were still in the frame, it just looked like one tripod. Probably not explaining it as clearly as it needs to be explained, but again, if there's interest, let me know and I'll go into that a little bit more. You can find a bunch of videos out on the internet on how to do it. But the great thing is these slides you're going to have to adjust in the process of finding your no parallax point. And this rig, this fixture, makes it very easy. It's the Nodal Ninja from Fanotec. Makes it very easy where you can record at what point you need to have these positions, so that if you change your lenses, you can quickly move to what the positions should be for the new lens. So it's going to vary lens by lens, but for the Rokinon, this is the correct placement for my lens. And you'll see, or hopefully maybe I already showed you the panorama, the test panorama I did the other night. So and then what's going to happen when I go to shoot the Milky Way, I am probably going to take several rows. So that's to say, maybe I start at, and these are graduated up here, so maybe I start at 70 degrees down, and I take a series of shots. Okay, that was 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then what I would do, I'd raise it up, and I'm going to have to visually figure out that I've got the proper overlap, so I know how much to angle up. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go back, and then maybe I need to raise it even more and do another row. So again, depending on what I'm trying to capture will determine how many rows I may need to take. And this Rokinon lens is a manual focus lens, so that's the other thing I have to pay attention to. Oftentimes the infinity spot on your camera lens is not the true infinity spot, so I'm going to have to sort that out. At nighttime when there's a star, I'll be able to magnify the star on the back of the LED screen so it's really kind of big, and then I can adjust the manual focus to get to where I think it's the smallest, and then call that good for the focus, at least for when I'm shooting the Milky Way. You know, this is all going to be things that I have to prove out in the field when I go out there and do it, but that's what it is. And what you're looking at here is about $1,000 worth of kit, not including the camera. This tripod was, I think, around $349. I have a link to it in the video description. And then these other pieces, the Easy Leveler 2, the rotator, and the Nodal Ninja 6, I think came up to about another $500 or so. So that's that, and let's go back inside and close out the video. Okay, so hopefully that was informative for you. If you have any questions about the Fanotec gear, the Nodal Ninja 6, the Easy Leveler 2, or the Advanced Rotator, just let me know. Ask your questions in the comment section. This is equipment I purchased myself, so it's not sponsored on loan or anything like that. It's what I thought I needed to have to do a panorama. So let's go back. Here is the panorama, and what I want to do here is kind of show you the individual shots. And so let's step through. So again, I have my Fuji X-T4 in the vertical orientation. Some people might call that portrait. And this is the first image. And then the second in the sequence is this. And as you can see here, the car is still in this frame. So here's the car, and I was shooting for about a third of the width of this image, which was around field of view is about 66 degrees side to side, and so I was going for about a third. So there you'll see the car, and now if we go back, you see this car coming here, and so this is the next. I've rotated another 24 degrees, and you see the car is in this frame, and then this bush here, and then I rotate another 24 degrees. You see the bush is there, and then my fifth frame was my last one, and then when I put it all together, this is what it came, how it turned out, which I think is not bad for my first attempt. When we look at these poles, the light poles, they look relatively straight. If we kind of zoom into the harbor, the lighting was not the best, but most of these masts look pretty straight to me, straight. I'm not seeing ghosting of this radar tower here. So again, to my untrained eye in panoramas, I'm going to call this first test a success. And then let's just show how I did it. I basically went into, once I had these 5 frames, and we could just step through them again. Then I basically went up to photo, into photo merge, and then selected panorama. I'm not going to do it right now, but I'll step through it when I get my next set of images next time I go out to try and collect a panorama, so I could share that technique. And now there's different ways you can do it. You can work to get your lighting, your exposure, your clarity, saturation and all that. You could do it on an individual frame, and then you can copy it over to the other frames that are going to be part of your panorama. Because I was not so interested in those technical aspects, I basically put the panorama together, and then I massaged the panorama in Lightroom. And so what I'll probably do in the future is I'll probably look to find the best reference frame, adjust everything, and then put the panorama together. But different ways to do it. So, all right, I just wanted to share with you where I'm at. Again, this is going to be a general photography channel, but initially I'm focused on doing nightscapes and Milky Way panoramas, and I'll be doing some landscape panoramas as well. We're headed out to Monument Valley, Utah sometime next week, and then we're going to go up into Utah like Arches and Bryce and those type of things, and try and catch the Milky Way rising above different foreground features. I think I have a lot to learn on how to handle the foreground as far as any lighting and stuff like that. So there's a lot to be learned, and as I'm learning, I'm going to be sharing it with you on this channel. So in closing, oh, we don't want to be that magnified. In closing, this is the first panorama, and there'll be more to come, and I'll share with you the process, what I'm learning, what mistakes I'm making, how I'm correcting them, and all those on this channel, as I will do with all the different types of photography that I'll be doing. I'm going to start doing street photography. I've always been a little bit hesitant or reserved to go out on the street and capture street images of people and stuff like that, but I'm going to force myself to do that. So in probably my next video, I'll share with you what's going to be in my street photography kit if you're into that type of content. And then eventually I'll talk about some of the visual patterns that I'll be trying to incorporate in my photography as a street photographer and those type of things. So if you like this kind of content, please give it a thumbs up. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And I want to thank the subscribers to the channel and any viewers that stop in. Thank you. If you're not a subscriber, consider hitting that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That'd be much appreciated. And as always, check out the video descriptions, and that's where you'll find our affiliate marketing links. And again, using one of our links doesn't cost you any money additional to what you might purchase, but it does generate a few nickels and dimes for us, which helps support the channel. So, all right, again, if you have a camera, DSLR or mirrorless, don't let it collect dust. Go out and create. Until next time.